The train car smelled faintly of stale coffee and old books. A symphony of rhythmic clatter filled the air as Michael sank into the worn velvet seat.
He was tired, bone tired, not the kind that sleep could fix, the kind that settled deep in your soul after years of routine and unfulfilled dreams.
Outside the window, the world blurred into a canvas of greens and browns. Each telephone pole that whizzed by seemed to tick off another moment of his wasted life. Or so he felt at that moment. Michael sighed, the sound lost in the cacophony of the train.
He closed his eyes, willing himself to find some semblance of peace in the journey. As the train rumbled on, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the verge of something significant. A change was coming, whispering on the wind of his discontent. Little did he know, the catalyst for that change was about to take the seat beside him.
A soft voice startled Michael from his thoughts.
Is this seat taken?
He opened his eyes to see an elderly woman standing in the aisle. Her smile was warm, her eyes crinkled at the corners with the wisdom of a life well lived. Her silver hair was pulled back in a loose bun, and a colourful scarf added a touch of vibrancy to her simple attire.
No, please, have a seat.
She settled in gracefully, her movements fluid despite her age.
Thank you, dear. It's not every day you find a kind soul willing to share their space.
Michael offered a tired smile.
We all need a little kindness on this journey.
Indeed, we never know when a chance encounter might change our lives.
Her words hung in the air between them, heavy with unspoken meaning. Michael found himself drawn to her calm demeanor, a stark contrast to the turmoil brewing within him. As the miles melted away, so did Michael's initial reluctance. He learned the woman's name was Eleanor. She was a retired librarian, her life filled with stories, both the ones she read and the ones she lived.
She described bustling markets in Marrakesh, the serene beauty of the Swiss Alps, and the vibrant culture of Rio de Janeiro.
Each story was a tapestry woven with vivid details and heartfelt emotions. Michael listened, captivated. He had always dreamed of traveling the world, but life had a way of getting in the way. Responsibilities piled up, bills needed to be paid, and his dreams were relegated to the dusty corners of his mind. Eleanor's stories stirred something within him, a flicker of the adventurous spirit he thought he had lost.
I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. Imagine standing under that celestial dance, the colors swirling above you.
Eleanor smiled, her eyes twinkling with understanding.
Dreams have a way of finding their way back to us. Sometimes, all it takes is a little nudge, a reminder that it's never too late.
As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the passing landscape, a comfortable silence settled between them. It wasn't the awkward silence of strangers, but the companionable quietude of two souls who had found solace in each other's presence.
He spoke of his work, the monotony that had settled over his days. He confessed his fears, the nagging feeling that he was letting life pass him by.
Eleanor listened with an attentive ear and a compassionate heart. She shared stories of her own life, moments of doubt and uncertainty, times when she had to dig deep within herself to find the strength to keep going.
She spoke of the importance of following your passions, however small or insignificant they might seem to the outside world. She reminded him that life was not a race to be won, but a journey to be savoured.
Her words resonated deeply within Michael. He realized that he had spent so much time chasing success, he had forgotten to live. He felt a glimmer of hope, a spark of possibility ignite within him. The train swayed gently, its rhythm a lullaby that lulled them deeper into their conversation. Yet as the sky outside deepened into hues of twilight, Michael became aware of a shift in Eleanor. Her usual vibrancy seemed to dim, replaced by a quiet pensiveness. Her gaze drifted towards the window, her fingers tracing patterns on the armrest as if lost in thought. He hesitated, sensing a story lingering beneath the surface.
Is everything all right, Eleanor?
He asked softly, concern lacing his voice. She turned to him, her eyes filled with a mixture of emotions he couldn't decipher.
Sometimes the most important stories are the ones we leave untold.
Her words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken meaning. Michael wanted to press her, to urge her to share whatever burden she carried, but something in her demeanor, a quiet dignity in her silence, held him back. He knew, with a certainty that defied logic, that she would share what she needed to when the time was right. Until then, he would simply be present, offering his silent support and understanding. The train slowed, its brakes sighing as it pulled into a small, brightly lit station. Passengers stirred, gathering their belongings, preparing to disembark. Eleanor turned to Michael, a sad smile gracing her lips.
"This is my stop, dear,"
she said, her voice tinged with regret. Michael felt a pang of disappointment, surprised by how quickly he had grown attached to this remarkable woman.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Eleanor. You've given me a lot to think about.
She reached out, her hand resting gently on his arm.
"And you, Michael, have reminded me of the power of listening, of the beauty in connecting with another soul."
She paused, her gaze holding his.
"There's something I need to tell you, something I haven't shared with anyone."
Michael leaned in, his heart pounding in his chest. He had known all along that there was more to Eleanor than met the eye, but nothing could have prepared him for the revelation that followed.
"I'm not who you think I am. You see, Michael, I'm not even real."
The train station blurred as Michael looked at Eleanor in disbelief, her hand resting gently on his.
Michael stared at her, his mind reeling. "What do you mean? You're not real," he asked, his voice barely a whisper.
Eleanor's form shimmered, her edges blurring for a fleeting moment before snapping back into focus.
"This journey," she explained, "it was never really about the destination. It was about the connection we made along the way."
"But how?" Michael stammered. "Who are you?"
"I am a part of you, Michael," she said softly, "a reflection of the wisdom and strength you hold within yourself."
She reached out, her hand ghosting over his cheek.
"You were lost, Michael. You needed a guide, a beacon to illuminate the path back to yourself."
"And you, Eleanor?" Michael asked, his voice thick with emotion. "What happens to you now?"
She smiled, a radiant, ethereal glow emanating from her. "I am always with you, Michael," she whispered. In the whispers of the wind, the rustling of the leaves, the gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat.
Panic surged through Michael. He reached out, his hand passing through the space where she had been only moments before. "No, wait!" he cried out, his voice lost in the cacophony of the station.
But Eleanor was gone, vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the faint scent of lavender and a profound sense of loss. Michael sat there, stunned, his mind a whirlwind of confusion and disbelief. Had he imagined the entire encounter? Was he losing his mind? He glanced down at the seat beside him, now empty except for a single, delicate feather resting on the worn velvet. He picked it up, its touch sending a jolt of energy through him. It was real. She had been real. As he clutched the feather, a wave of peace washed over him. Eleanor's words echoed in his mind. "I'm always with you, Michael." He realized then that her physical presence was irrelevant. She had given him the greatest gift imagined, the belief in himself, the courage to pursue his dreams, and the knowledge that he was never truly alone. The train lurched forward, jolting Michael back to the present. He stood, tucking the feather safely in his pocket, a tangible reminder of his extraordinary encounter. As he stepped off the train and into the bustling station, he felt different, lighter somehow. The weight of his discontent had lifted, replaced by a newfound sense of purpose. He knew he had a long way to go, but for the first time in a long time he felt hope.
He had been given a second chance, a chance to rewrite his story, to embrace the unknown with open arms. He thought of Eleanor, her wisdom and kindness forever etched in his heart. He vowed to honor her memory by living a life filled with purpose, passion, and a deep appreciation for the interconnectedness of all things.
The world outside the station seemed brighter, more vibrant than he remembered. The air hummed with possibility, and Michael breathed it in deeply. He didn't know what the future held, but he was no longer afraid to find out.
He would travel, he would write, he would embrace every moment with a newfound zest for life. And as he walked away from the station, the feather a comforting weight in his pocket, he could almost hear Eleanor's voice whispering on the wind, urging him forward, reminding him that the greatest journey is the one we take within ourselves.
He smiled, a genuine smile that reached his eyes for the first time in years. He was no longer lost. He had found his way back to himself, guided by the wisdom of a stranger on a train.